Welcome to another episode of the Cardboard Cave Podcast. And tonight we are going to talk about Assassin's Creed, the most recent set that is going to be coming out of Universe Beyond of Magic the Gathering, and as well talk about the issue with the free running mechanic and more details about that. As well, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel that we have a bunch of new content that is already going to be available on your way. A new video is already out. If you guys want to see me and Orengo use the quarterfinals Worlds 2003 decks and just trying our best to understand them and Orengo kicking my ass, go ahead and watch that video. The video is already available like that. You guys can go ahead and check it out. And as well, go to our TikTok. Our TikTok is already 2,100 and I think 7 followers. Let's go ahead and reach 2.5. Let's go ahead and reach 2.5. Thank you for always supporting us. And don't forget, if you have not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, go ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel, like the video, comment below, and don't forget to hit the bell so that you guys can get notified with our new content whenever it is available. So let's go ahead and bring our favorite director, the one and only Orengo.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Orengo? How are you doing?
All good. All good. Let's talk about free running in Assassin's Creed.
What do you what are your thoughts of this set?
Okay, so this is one of the few ones that Wizards has released that it's not that I'm hyped for, but I actually have some knowledge of the IP because I did play to completion the first game when it first came out. I believe that was my first purchase when I got the PlayStation 3. Guess I got a little bit later. So that was the game I just bundled it with. And I heard it was pretty cool. I decided to play it and it blew my mind. I never played any other game. People tell me the second one is even better. Like it improves every little detail that the first one was lacking. The second one improved on. So I have a little bit of a knowledge of the game. So seeing this, I guess it's fitting because they are assassins. So it's not like the worst thing in the world in terms of card types and all that. And utilizing it as an excuse to implement artifacts, and especially legendary artifacts, and especially equipment legendary artifacts, it's kind of cool for people who like to build like Voltron builds, or to use like the Sword of Feast and Famine, the Sword of Light and Darkness, which are the two reprints. I wish Wizards wasn't that cowardly and they should have just printed all of the swords, like the whole cycle. Even the new ones that come in the last couple of years, it would have been kind of nice. I guess they didn't do it because this set is sort of like a mini set. It's akin to Aftermath, and that's where the problems start. Like this is essentially Aftermath. It's Aftermath, but with Beyond Universe's cards. There's a few reprints or a few good reprints in the set, but overall the new cards don't seem to be too impactful, and what's worse is they're coming into Modern. So I guess the reasoning was they saw last year Lord of the Rings, it made a bunch of money. I think it's already been like decidedly approved that Lord of the Rings is the best-selling Magic the Gathering set of all time, and the second best set was Modern Horizons 2. So I think their thought process is, we're going to have a few of these sets every year. They're going to Modern because for some reason, the Modern sets are still selling very well, even though Modern is every single set makes it even more prohibitively expensive than the last. So I guess they wanted to just implement Modern into the equation and make Assassin's Creed cards viable in Modern. But honestly, and when we start talking about the free running mechanic especially, it's clear that this was conceptualized for Commander, and they just attached the Modern thing at the tail end of it. So I don't know. I saw the prices. I think it's like $100 per booster box, but it gives you like 7 cards. I think one of them is a token, so essentially I think it's 6 cards, or maybe it's 7 cards and a token, so it's 8 cards total. It's slightly better than Aftermath, but my guess is if you buy a box, you'll most likely pull everything you want from the set. Hence why probably most of the cards in this set are not that valuable, which is good if you wanted to get like these cheap Assassin's Creed cards. And if you wanted to get some of the swords, you can get them on the cheap. But yeah, I think this is the set that people are kind of going to ignore, especially since Modern Horizons 3 is still out. Like it came out like 2 weeks ago. and it's been very successful. It's bred a bunch of new decks. This weekend there's a pro tour. I think it's a modern pro tour, so a lot of people are going to be using those cards, and they're going to go up even more in value. So I don't know. Like I think they kind of messed up. I think they should just made decks, 4 decks, 5 decks of Assassin's Creed cards, just kind of like with Doctor Who, and just have a
Hmm.
collective. If you want to have like shiny versions of these assassins, and move on. I don't know. Like I feel like this was kind of like a miss. So what do you think?
So at least for me again, I'm with you. I only played the first one. I completed the first one. The second one I started it and didn't continued. Did get the Assassin's Creed franchise very late as well,
Mhm.
because I didn't get into the PlayStation 3 until the slim version was out,
Okay.
because I did buy the PlayStation 3 that was backward compatible.
Mhm.
So I was super excited. I didn't care that it was like 80 gigabytes of hard drive. I was like, hey, I can play my PlayStation 2 games in
Yeah.
this system.
Yeah.
But when I got home, the AV port
Mhm.
of the PlayStation was bad. So
Damn.
the image was all blurry. So I had to bring it back. I was
Yeah.
so sad because when I brought it back, the cost of the system didn't reach the amount of the slim. So I was like, no
Mhm.
worries, I'll just wait. And when the slim, I don't remember, the slim got like a slight discount. I think it was like in Christmas. So I got the slim,
Yeah.
and I got the slim with Metal Gear Solid
Mhm.
4.
Okay.
So I played Metal Gear first, passed Metal Gear, and then I started getting other games.
Yeah.
Um, but I love it. I do like the cards. I like the artwork. I like the fact that they added like very key characters of the story, like Cleopatra, Da Vinci. The secret layer is nice. I really hope that the cards would have been other cards instead.
Yeah.
The ones that are
Agree.
like the Da Vinci artwork.
Yeah.
Um, but I agree with you. I think that for me, since when the set was presented and out, I was like, yeah, this is a commander straightforward set.
Yep.
When they announced that it was gonna be like modern cards as well, I was like, "Well, okay, that does not make sense, but sure." But again, the cards, I don't see cards that are viable here for modern. Probably somebody will find a card from Assassin's Creed and be like, yeah, this is such a broken card, we can add it in this deck. And then it will be like a 50-cent card, and they'll turn to a $10 card. Then it will win a pro tour, and it turns out to be a $35 card.
Yeah, because the problem with the aftermath is that it'll be readily available, so I guess it'll be fine. It's not gonna be, you know what? Maybe I'll take that back. It's not gonna be as bad as Thunder Junction, because the problem with Thunder Junction is any card from the big score is prohibitively more expensive because it wasn't in the mini set. The mini
Hmm.
set cards in Aftermath, most of them are worth pennies, except for Nissa because it's used in
Yeah.
standard like a lot. And I think that's kind of it. Maybe the Karn is used too, and there's one extra card in Aftermath that's used. But for the most part, they're like it's like a worthless set in terms of value.
Hmm.
So yeah, I agree with you. I don't think there's anything high powered, and especially coming out of Modern Horizons 2, like there's no the One Ring equivalent card. There's no Orcus
Yeah.
Bowmaster type of card here. This is not like because Lord of the Rings was essentially Modern Horizons 2.5. This one is
Yes.
definitely very underpowered. Unless we're missing out on something, we might be because we're not like really pro players, not anymore, anyways. So there might be
Exactly.
some cool free running mechanic, and you might be able to squeeze a assassin deck that's 5 colors. You make it like domain, and you can kind of squeak out a win with the with Enzio, I think is what it is. The guy who can just make the opponent lose the game. You pay Urborg.
Yeah.
So maybe there's something there. Maybe you can make like tokens, a bunch of tokens, and then just hit the opponent like in the first couple of turns, and then he's under 10 life, and then you just swing, you do Warburg, you have a domain deck, and you win. So that might be a possibility you could do, but it seems so very convoluted, especially in how fast modern is right now. All these
Hmm.
cards seem slow in comparison. Like one of them like brings an equipment. It's like equipments really in 2024 Magic. And I don't know. It
Yeah.
feels like it's too slow.
But and the thing is that we're talking about that in modern, Tron is back. Tron is back again with being a top tier meta deck, and Tron is pretty slow, and it's back on the high tier sets or lists. But let's go ahead and bring in the cards, because just to like just like everybody can know,
Mhm.
Assassin's Creed has already been fully spoiled.
Yes.
Boop, there you go. Here it
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Let me see if I can. Boop, there you go. Full screen. So first card we have here. What we're gonna do, guys, like that, we're not gonna make this full episode like we used. We're not gonna do the top three cards really because uh we didn't really focus on this set that much.
No, it's kind of hard. Like Wizards just keeps dumping so much product, and the thing is, they announced this and bet that by not, like the next 2 or 3 weeks, we're gonna start getting which is the new set Burrow Bloomborough. We're
Bloomborough.
still getting Bloomborough spoilers. We
Well,
already got
there
leaks. There's already
we're
leaks out there.
yeah, there's already leaks, and I
Yeah.
think that there's already artwork out there of the
Yes.
boxes.
Yep.
So it's like, they're not giving us a break.
No, they're not giving you a break. By the way, guys, if you want to see those Bloomborough spoilers, I mean leaks, you can go to TikTok. They're
Yes,
there.
they're
They're
there.
on page, so you can check out.
As well, I don't know the exact date, but there is a Love Your Local Game Store event that
Yes.
it's an event that you can go to your local game store, play games with your friends, or join a draft event, and you will get a Sakura Elder. Shit, I
Tribe
forgot the name.
Elder.
Tribe
Sakura Tribe
Elder,
Elder.
or Steve. You can get a Steve, a full art
Yes.
Steve.
Yes. Full
So
art.
hey,
Textless. It's beautiful.
Exactly. Yes,
Beautiful.
I
Beautiful card.
love the fact that Wizard of the Coast is getting back to the textless
Yes.
cards. My
Yes.
God,
I
the
know they
thing
were
is that
controversial, but they're just like there's artwork that's so beautiful, and cards are so iconic that you could get away with making them textless. I get it. Like people would be upset because like, oh, I don't know the card. What if I'm like a super and I'm new to Magic? Well, screw you. Just read the card. Like Google it. Google it. Then it's fine.
exactly.
It's okay, bro. It's
I
okay.
think that the only textless card that I think I would have an issue is with Cryptic Command because it has like a lot of modes.
Or the Omnath, like 4-color Omnath.
Oh yeah, the
That
four color on
I
that.
forget what he does after like the second time you play a land. So like
Yeah,
that one's kind of crazy.
it is. It is. So let's
Yeah.
go ahead and start. We're
Yeah.
good. We're gonna just. I think that we're just gonna skim on some of the cards, guys. So that then we can talk about the issue of free running. So I'm gonna
Sure.
start the back. I'll start off the back with our main character of the first game is
Yeah.
Altair Ibn Lahad. I think that I said it right. If I did butcher it, sorry. Tell me in the comments below. So he is a Mardu, red, white, black
Yeah.
legendary creature, obviously human assassin, has first strike. He's a 3/3 and has the following effect: whenever Altair attacks, exile up to one target assassin creature card from your graveyard with a memory counter on it. Then, for each creature card you own in exile with a memory counter on it, create a tapped and attacking token that's a copy of it. Exile those tokens at the end of combat.
It's very flavorful because literally the whole game is about you recounting your past ancestors, especially the ones that are from the Assassin's Creed, so you can recount their abilities and be able to use their
Mm-hmm.
abilities in like the simulation type of thing when you're like in the little. There are artifacts around there. I forgot the name
I
of the
don't
artifact.
remember. I don't remember
Yeah,
how it's
the
called.
little bed you go into for the
Yeah,
memory. Yeah, so it's very flavorful. It feels very much like a commander card. It
I
really
know.
just feels like a stupid commander card. So yeah.
I don't get it. Go
Um,
ahead,
okay,
Monego.
the
Which
next
one are you
one.
gonna? Next
Let's
one,
talk
yeah.
about the Apple one. The Apple one's kind of interesting. So Apple of Eden, Isu Relic. It's a legendary artifact. There's a bunch of legendary artifacts in this set. It's 4 costed. Tap, pay 4 life. Sacrifice Apple of Eden. Look at target opponent's hand and exile those cards face down. You may play those cards this turn, and mana of any type can be spent to cast them until the end of turn. Whenever you play a land or cast a spell this way, its owner draws a card. At the beginning of the next end step, return the exile cards to their owner's hand. Activate only as a sorcery. It's cool. I would play this in Mishra. It's kind of dope. Play this on Mishra. Like when you when you legend rule, it triggers. Can I just like tap it in response? I'm pretty sure I can, right?
Yeah, because
Before it dies.
if you have one,
Yeah.
because Mishra makes a copy, right?
Right. No. You know what? I can. And you know why I
Yes, you
can? Because
can.
Mishra doesn't do another Apple of Eden. It does a Mishra's War form that has the ability of Apple of Eden. So
But
that's
still,
dope.
even though you do a copy,
Yeah,
remember the copy detects the new one when it enters the battlefield.
yeah.
It detects the other legendary. So in response to
To the
the
trigger of
sacrifice,
sacrifice, you
to
can
the trigger,
tap.
you
Yeah, for
can,
sure.
yeah.
So yeah, that's something I was sticking that deck. Like it seems like a fun card. Seems very over costed for modern. I don't like I don't see a world where you're like, well, maybe I don't know. I really doubt it. I really like it's 4 mana,
Maybe
4 life,
in Tron.
maybe because you have the mana and it's mana like your colorless mana, which is a lot of it. It can be turned into mana of any color to be able to cast
Hmm.
those things. So you are able to like do natural Tron, play that. You still have 3 mana left over, so you can like crack it and try to get like an important piece off their deck or of their hand, or at least you're gonna get a look see of what they have. So maybe I really highly doubt it. So I don't know. Go on to the next one.
Okay,
Whatever you want to talk
so
about.
let's go ahead and talk about Cleopatra because the
Cleopatra. Okay.
counters. This one is very
Yes.
interesting. So Cleopatra exiled pharaoh is 2 and Gruel, if I'm not
No, it's not
mistaken.
Gruul. Is
No, it's not Gruel.
Oof.
I forgot.
Golgari.
Golgari.
It's
So
Golgari.
it's green and black legendary creature human noble has allies at the beginning of your end step. Put a +1/+1 counter on each up to 2 other target legendary creatures. And then he has betrayal. Whenever a legendary creature with counters on it dies, draw a card for each counter on it, you lose 2 life. And it's a
Yes.
2/4. This
Mhm.
is a card that I think that not JP, Fish will love. It's a
Yes.
human. It
Yeah.
does human things, and you draw a bunch of cards for only 2 life.
I think this might be something that a Yawgmoth deck would play because when a legendary creature with counters, it doesn't say it has to be +1/+1 counters. It can be -1
Hmm.
-1 counters, which is something that Yawgmoth does very efficiently. If you have like a legendary matters deck and you have Yawgmoth, you can start drawing a bunch of cards with ease with Cleopatra on the field. So there's something there. Maybe. I don't know. Like maybe
Again,
someone's gonna figure it out. I don't know.
I like the fact that they have these serialized cards.
Yes.
Some of them have like their original
So yeah, that would be
text.
Egypt, not Egyptian. I don't know if that's the right word, but yeah, she's
Uh,
Egyptian. So
no,
yeah.
they do have the Egyptian right
Oh,
here
there
in
you
the
go.
corner.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, and I think that goes for Leonardo da Vinci. I think Leonardo da Vinci is
Hmm.
Italian. So yeah, because obviously this is the first time in a very long time that Magic has released cards that are based on actual people.
Yeah.
Like they haven't done this since I think I would say Legends or maybe Homelands. I don't know. There was a set where it was all about Asian history. Like I think it was like it was
Isn't it Legends?
Portal Three Kingdoms. I think that was the
Oh,
last, probably the last one where they included people who were actually like people that
yeah.
really existed in history. So it's kind of interesting to see that going back, even though it's because of Assassin's Creed and it's based on actual people.
Hmm.
Um, there's one that's a pirate. It's Edward Kenway. He's probably based on the Black Flag one, the Black Flag
Yeah, the main
game.
character of Black Flag.
Exactly. So he is a 2 colorless blue, black, red for a 5/5. Human assassin pirate. The pirate thing is important. At the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token for each tapped assassin pirate and or vehicle you control. Whenever a vehicle you control deals combat damage to a player, look at the top card of that player's library, then exile it face down. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. So this is essentially the best pirate commander I've seen. This is the one
Hmm.
where actually stealing is beneficial. It's really easy to do. It rewards you from playing pirates and vehicles, which is something that people try to
Yeah.
synergize with, but you never get it. So finally, if people wanted to do like a pirate tribal deck, and I have one, but it was never good because I had the original Admiral Beckett Brass, and she's not that strong. So having this guy, this could be the key because he gives you even treasures at the end phase. So I think like it's pretty cool.
No, the fact that you can use vehicles as an engine as well, like
Yes, you can just tap them, and there's
yeah,
probably cards you can use to tap them just because of value, sheer value, and you can get a bunch of treasures at the end phase because of it. So yeah,
I like it. I
uh,
like it. is
Yeah,
really cool. So then we have this a Evor Wolf
Evior.
Kissed.
Yeah,
If I'm
Naya,
not mistaken, she
Naya.
is from Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Yeah,
The
it seems like it. Yeah.
It seems like it. So she's Naya and three colorless legendary human assassin warrior. Trample haste. Whenever shit, this name is Ivor.
Yeah, yeah,
You guys get me.
yeah.
Deals combat damage to a player. You mill that many cards.
Hmm.
You may put a saga card and or a land card from among them onto the battlefield, and she is a 7/6.
It's cool. It's 6 mana Naya color. It cares about sagas, which is something people have been wanting to like play around more because some people really like sagas, but there hasn't been a set except Tom Bombadil. There hasn't been like commanders or creatures
Mm-hmm.
that really care about saga. So this one's kind of cool. Also, you can kind of make it like a weird Voltron deck. It's trample and haste for a 7/6. Three
Yeah,
hits of that and you die.
this is a the only thing you would be missing, if you remove the you if you keep the ability and and you added an ability that, oh, if it's your turn it's indestructible, you
Oh
have
yeah,
Zergo with different colors.
bro. Yes, that's true. It would have been very strong, very strong. Yep.
Yeah.
Then we have Ezio, which is I
Exio.
think from Exio, which is from the second one.
Yes.
Um, he is the one who has the free running ability, so we're going to talk about that right now. It's one colorless and one black for a 3/2 legendary creature, human assassin. He has menace. Assassin spells you cast have free running. Free running. This is the Oracle text. You may cast a spell for its free running cost if you dealt combat damage to a player this turn with an assassin or commander. We're going to get that into a second. So, whenever Exio deals combat damage to a player, you may play Urbor, which is white, blue, black, red, green. If that player has 10 or less life, when you do, that player just loses the game. So, free running. I think there might have been another instance of another card that had a commander in its text, in its Oracle text at least, or its reminder text. It's interesting that we are entering into a constructive format, which is like what this set is going to. It's going to modern, and it includes a card and a couple of cards that says assassin or commander.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Pleasant Kenobi. He talked about how this was a terrible idea because it just creates homogeny in the format of Commander. Because now some of these cards might be auto includes for the mere fact that you can trigger them with a commander, which lore wise makes no sense for them to actually trigger this way. And my only guess of why this is happening, it's because it was originally a commander set and they were just thinking of like, well, let's make sure that the commanders are able to trigger. Like if you decided to just make like, I don't know, Morphon, like the relentless or whatever as the
Mm-hmm.
commander of all these assassins, you could use that Morphon to trigger free running to be able to just trigger with everyone else or something like that. So I guess that was probably the initial thought. But then they probably thought, oh my God, Modern Horizons 2 sold so well. So we need to make sure the set sells. We need to make it viable in other formats. If you think of another set that did that, we can think of like Infinity, where
Yeah.
they allowed a bunch of cards to be entered into Legacy and Vintage, and look where that got them. So I don't think this is going to be as egregious, just because like it's only a weird pet peeve because it says Commander, but there's two problems rising. First is the fact that you're introducing cards that are clearly designed for Commander into Modern,
Mm-hmm.
diluting a little bit the format, even though this probably won't have an effect on it. The other problem is that you're making Commander more homogenized because now there might be cards here that are auto includes. There's one card, I think it's an uncommon, that literally ramps you, I think for 4 mana. For 5 mana, you can ramp three lands, I think. But if you free run, you can ramp for 3 mana, 3 lands. That's
Oh, right.
insane.
Yeah, I know which one you're
So
talking about.
that's crazy value. So you're just gonna be auto include like in any ramp deck or any landfall deck, you're gonna have to use that card because it's strictly better than a lot of the other like Cultivate, Karama's Reach, whatever. So having this ability would have been cool if it would have just said assassins, but including
Mm-hmm.
commander, I feel like it's a detriment to the spirit of what they were trying to do. And I'm not the one who cares about lore, but I feel like they kind of broke the idea or the concept behind free running by also including commanders. I don't want. What do you think?
I agree
Yeah.
because again, it's not the fact of like if this product was going to be fully Commander. When it was presented, I thought it was 100% for Commander. Being the fact
Mhm.
that they added Modern on it, it's gonna. I'm not gonna say it's gonna create a confusion to players, but players are gonna be pretty annoyed because it's a cards are going to say Commander in it, and then you will have these some typical flip players. They'll be like, why are you playing Assassin's Creed cards when they are commander based,
Yeah.
when they're only for commander? And
Hmm.
then you have to go ahead and explain to them like, no, Assassin's Creed is actually as well for modern.
Yeah.
So it will that will happen no matter how many times Wizard of the Coast will explain it. It
Hmm.
will happen.
Hmm.
For this case, I would have preferred that if Wizard of the Coast wanted to make this a modernized set, keep it
Yeah.
in modern.
Yeah.
But in this case, it probably what they like you mentioned before. I think that what they wanted to see is like, oh, I think that we should keep moving forward with modern and see if one of these cards gets hype and
Be
we
able to sell
can
packs. Yeah.
exactly we can be able to sell packs.
Hmm.
Because not even, I think it was like 3 days ago,
Hmm.
I received a message of TCG players saying like, "Hey, you can get a Assassin's Creed box for like a
a
hundred
hundred
bucks."
bucks. Yep. Same. I got the same one.
So
Yep.
it's like,
They're
yeah,
desperate. They're
they're
desperate to sell
desperate
this.
because probably they're not even selling as well. and
Yep.
e- and that is something that I think that our local game store, one of the
Hmm.
store owners asked me like, hey, the upcoming sets is Modern Horizon 3 and Assassin's Creed. And I was like, you're gonna double down or triple down on Modern Horizon 3,
Hmm.
and on Assassin's Creed you're just going to buy maybe one case and the commanders, that's
Yeah.
it.
And there's no commanders, by the way. It's just like starter decks, like kind of
Oh,
what they
there
did
you
with
go.
Lord Rings. So they're not even
Oh,
actual
okay.
commander decks. Yeah.
So yeah, so that's what I told
Hmm.
them. Like, hey, don't waste your money in Assassin's Creed.
Yep.
People are not gonna buy it.
Yep.
If you want to have the product like that, probably somebody or a fan or something wants to buy booster packs, then yeah, they have the product. But
Yep.
don't waste like your budget on
Yep.
Assassin's Creed. Waste it
Yep.
more in Modern Horizon because people
Hmm.
are gonna go crazy for Modern Horizon, and that is the truth.
Definitely.
That
Yep.
is the truth.
Definitely. Yep.
You
Yep.
know. So next card, I think that this guy. Well, we have an Nexio that's a 5 drop. I think this is
Yeah, I
from the
think this
starter
is starter.
decks.
Yeah, definitely. He's so weak. He's so weak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then so we have Cassandra Eagle Bear. I think
Hmm.
that Cassandra is from Assassin's Creed Odyssey, if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken. She is Boros and one colorless. Legendary creature. You guys know what it is. So if it changes, we'll mention it to you. Um, she has haste and is a 2/2 and says whenever Cassandra enters the battlefield, search your graveyard, hand, and library for a card named the Spear of Leonidas.
Yep.
Put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. Whenever a
This.
creature you control with a legendary equipment attached to it
Hmm.
deals combat damage to a player, draw a card.
Yep. I'm looking for the spear just in case, so we have some context because I don't know what. Okay, so Spear of Leonidas. It's a legendary artifact equipment, 2 colorless and a red. Whenever a creature attacks, choose one. It has Bull Rush. It gains double strike until the end of turn. It has Summon. Create Phobos, a legendary 3/2 red horse creature token, or Revelation. Discard 2 cards, then draw 2 cards, and it has Equip 2. So it's a pretty cool equipment, legendary equipment. I guess it's cool if you have a deck that kind of like cares about that.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to like grab equipments. That's cool. You can make it a commander and just make it like your one artifact that you always grab with the commander. You can put it on 99 artifact matters deck, maybe like dog meat. Dog meat has those colors because it's Naya, right? Yep. They have
Yeah.
those colors. So there you go. You can put it on dog meat, and you'll always be able to pick it up with dog meat, even if he drops it in the graveyard. So that's kind of cool. Like I guess that's it. I don't know. Like it's okay. It's
It's
not a
okay.
modern card.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not a modern card.
And like we said, look, Leonardo da Vinci, the
Yeah.
serial card is in Italian.
I love this. So I want to talk about Leonardo da Vinci. So this one I might buy because play artifacts. I love artifacts. So 2 colorless and a blue, a 3/3 human artificer. So he's different. He has 2 abilities. For 3 colors and 2 blue, until end of turn, Thopters you control have base power and toughness XX, where X is the number of cards in your hand. So if you're drawing a lot, which is blue thing, you're gonna have pretty powerful Thopters. What do you do? How are you gonna get Thopters though? Well, the second ability, 2 colorless and a blue, and you tap it, draw a card and discard a card. If the discarded card was an artifact card, exile it from your graveyard. If you do, create a token that's a copy of it, except it is 0/2 Thopter artifact creature with flying in addition to its other types. So you just have a mono blue deck with all the cool artifacts. You'd be like, I'm just gonna draw. Casually discarding, I don't know, mirror, whatever, the giant mirror that's a 7 drop.
Yeah.
Just do it and just cast a bunch of Thopters on the side, and then he boosts all your Thopters, so you can have a Thopter army. You can just have really powerful artifacts that are Thopters. It's really flavorful with him because he does an Omni Thopter. That's something he drew. So a stupid card. It's not powerful at all. This also seems like a very commander-centric card. But I love that it makes Thopters and it has a type of like Azuri, like the Elf Azuri one where you kind of boost your tribe. Well, he's boosting his tribe, which is the Thopters. It's cute. I like
it is. It is. The other thing is the detail, the fact that you can have it in English, and if you get the serialized, you get it like in his native language.
Yes.
I love it. I would find it serialized just to, if I would find one serialized in a good price, I would get it and automatically send it to grading. Just because I just like the fact that the artwork that they posted on the card is when he's drawing the Mona Lisa.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we have the Sword of Feast of Famine. You guys know what it does.
Yep. Strong.
It's a very strong card. It's in the Assassin's Creed set.
And the
so
Sword of Light and Shadow too.
Oh yeah, and we have sort of Light and Shadow as well.
There's a
We
couple
do
of
have
reprints there. Temporal Trespass too.
We have the Staff of Eden, Vault Key. It's a 6-drop. Let's go quickly on this one. So 6-drop legendary artifact. When the Staff of Eden, Vault Key enters the battlefield, put target legendary permanent card not named Staff of Eden from a graveyard into the battlefield under your control. You can tap it, draw a card for each permanent you control but don't own. So probably this is like if you want to do a type of deck that you steal stuff. So there you go.
It's okay because it's a reanimate spell essentially, like reanimating colorless, which is kind of interesting. You get to draw the second ability only will be useful if you have a deck that matters, like cares about stealing other people's stuff, or you reanimated something from the opponent, but then at best you're drawing 1 card. So it's just a very heavily costed reanimation spell, which I think it's kind of cool again for commander. Now the Capitone Triad or whatever it's called, that seems interesting. So the Capitoline Triad, I probably butchered that. It's a 7/7. It costs 10 mana, so it's almost like Eldrazi levels. So it's a legendary creature, God Artificer. It has 2 abilities. The first one, those who came before. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each historic card in your graveyard, which if you have like an artifact deck, that's something easy you can do. Second ability, exile any number of historic cards from your graveyard with total mana value 30 or greater, which is like a tough ask. You get an emblem with creatures you control have base power and toughness 9/9. So if you have like some type of like Legends Matter deck, maybe like say a Planeswalker deck, or say artifact deck or something like that, you exile a bunch, you make everything baseline 9/9s. Imagine having this in a casual Urza Lord Artificer deck. You exile a bunch of artifacts, you make all your constructs start at 9 and they go up for each other artifact, right?
No,
it's great. It's so good. So good. So good. So yeah, it's fun. You can even play it as the commander, which is something kind of interesting. Just have like a type of tokens matter strategy, and you have a bunch of like heavily costed artifacts you're like dumping into the grave quickly somehow. I don't know how you do that in colorless, but somehow. And then you exile all those, and then you make all your little, I don't know, mirrors or servos or thopters, like go
Or
from 1/1s
Eldrazi
or
spawns.
Eldrazi spawns. Yes, there you go. You just
There you
make like an
go.
Eldrazi deck or something. Or it can
Yeah.
be added with the Eldrazi deck. You can put this in part of your 99
hmm
Eldrazi deck, and then you make everything baseline 99. So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, like, and then you play Masswood Nexus and you make everything
Mm-hmm.
Eldrazi, and that's an
Yup,
Eldrazi,
yup.
and then you copy the ability.
People cry. People are gonna definitely cry.
And instead of getting one emblem, you get two emblems.
Yup, that's right.
I know that a lot of people were excited because of the temporal trespass. I
Mhm.
don't. It's a delve extra turn card, so
It's a
you
$20
know.
card, so getting reprinted is kind of nice.
Oh, it is a $20 card.
Yeah. Some of these reprints are, yeah, they fetch a
Okay.
pretty penny. The swords obviously are like 30, 40. Yeah. So
Yeah. We have a rebirth engine.
mhm.
I don't know these. I just read it, skimmed it. It
Yeah,
doesn't do that much.
yeah,
I like this one, the Aspergo Entertainment.
yeah,
Land, legendary land. You can.
yep,
I don't like the fact that it gives colorless and you have to pay to get a mana of any color.
yeah.
I do like the exile the land
Mhm.
and return up
Strong,
to one target historic card from your graveyard to your hand. Then exile
strong.
all graveyards. I
Mhm.
like it because the fact that even though it gives you only colorless, it has a way to, like, hey, if you want to, if you don't want to run like a Bajuka Bog, if you don't want to run a Relic of Progenitus or a Tormund Script, you can run the land. You know, it gives you colorless, but for 3 mana, you get something back and you exile all graveyards. Yeah. Um, let's see. I really don't know, man. I'm not even pumped of continuing to talk about these
Uh,
cards. These cards are boring.
so there's a black market connections, a reprint. That's a good
Oh yeah,
reprint. All things considered,
Assassin's Trophy.
Assassin's Trophy too. So a little bit down, you have black market connections. That's like a 20 to $25 card. It's only been reprinted twice. So it's good to have it here. It's flavorful to have it here. We also have Conspiracy. Conspiracy, the last time it was printed, it was in the list, and then Time Spiral time shifted. Mercadian Masquerade masks. I believe, I'm not sure if it's the first time it goes into modern. Maybe it was already in modern, but it's a cool reprint. Not an amazing one, but it's a cool reprint. So you have the Cover of Darkness. It's an enchantment, 2 mana, a white and a black. I'm sorry, a colorless and a black. It's Cover of Darkness. Enter the battlefield, choose a creature type. Creatures of the chosen type have fear. So that might be something that could be played in maybe modern or maybe commander in your tribe decks if you have black in it. Oh, that one, the synchronization, that one's kind of
This
cool.
one.
People
Yeah.
are been talking about it a little bit. 2 colorless and 2 blue. Instant return each non-land permanent that's not historic to its owner's hand. So again, if you have a legendary matters, artifact deck,
If I
sagas deck,
had,
yeah,
if I still had the Planeswalker Commander,
for sure. You
this
have
is a
like
great
an
card.
Atoxia Super Friends deck. Boom, that's it. You're gonna make sure you never lose your cards.
hmm
There's a couple of interesting cards. I would say
Excalibur is one that I really do like.
yes. Go ahead.
Being the fact that when I play D&D, and every time that I play D&D, I am the paladin. I always choose a paladin. I think I changed my race once to be a female elf ranger. So every time I was a paladin, I always told the DM that I wanted to a quest to find Excalibur. Being the fact that we have it as a card, I like, because I know it costs 12 mana, but it has the spell cost X less, where X is total mana value of historic permanents you control. So that's kind of cool. But the funny part is that it equipped creature gets +10/+0 and has vigilance. Love it, just love it.
It's
Put
cool. It's
this,
kind of like that. It's like kind of the hammer card, you know?
yeah, to put this on Joda.
Yeah, which is very easy. Yeah, very easy.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Put it on Joda. Bye bye.
Yep.
You dead.
Yep. You're gonna
Commander
basically
damage. You're
one-shot
gone.
someone. Yeah, you're gonna basically one shot someone, which is crazy.
The other thing that I do like is the lands. That we have all the lands from I think it's Modern Horizon 1.
These are the Horizon lands. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All the Horizon lands are in this beautiful kind of like landscape picturesque version where
Hmm.
you have an Exio like on the side, and you have
Yeah,
all the 6 lands because it's not a full cycle; it's 6 lands. So I
it's
think they
six
put
lands.
I either put 5 or 6 of them. I don't remember now, but yeah, you have either 5 or 6 of them, and it's pretty. It's like very pretty.
Yeah, one of the other things that I do like about this set,
Hmm.
even though I did say, again, the cards are not like that wowing. I think that
Yeah.
we've mentioned that enough times. But we have reprints like Rest in Peace. Rest in Peace is a $10 card still, so having another reprint is
Yeah,
good.
it's good.
Um Royal Assassin, it's a popular card
Hmm.
in certain sets.
Yes.
In certain like strategies is good. One of the things that I do, oh, here it is, the Animus. This is
Yeah, and that's
the
the thing
word
we
that
were
we were
talking
looking
about.
for.
Yes, sir.
Uh, but man, I haven't reached one of them. I think it's because we're in rarity. So,
Yeah.
but I say, let me scroll down to see if I can find one.
Hmm.
The thing. Oh, here we go. The basic lands.
Yes.
The basic lands are gorgeous. You
They
get
are.
two different artworks.
Hmm.
I think that one is like a scenery of like the video game that it's representing,
Hmm.
and then you have one with like the assassin in the background.
Yes,
So
which is really cool.
you have this, and the assassin is right there. I
Hmm.
don't understand why. Again, Wizard of the Coast, listen to us. Look us straight in the eye. If you have full art lands, you don't need to print basic
Yeah.
lands,
Yeah.
especially if you're using the same artwork.
Yep. I agree. You're actually doing this favor to the art, especially like look at that mountain. Like the mountain is so beautiful in its full size, and then you just crop it. It's
Crop it.
disgusting. It's
Yes.
gross. It really ruins it. Yes, agreed.
So I like the basic lands. I think that that's one of the things that I would like to buy a bunch. Obviously it depends because I did the Fallout lands. Basic lands are pretty expensive. I think they're like 50 cents the non-foil and like 75 or $1 for the foils. So being a fact that it's a full art land and having that price range is kind of expensive because, especially in Commander, we you might run. Obviously, if it's CDH, you don't run that much. But if you're like playing casual Commander, you're playing around more than 10, 30 basics.
Yeah.
So it price range is kind of like,
Hmm.
but I just love it. The fact that you have like both sides of the world of
Hmm.
Assassin's Creed in a land. The only thing that I have not seen yet. So I imagine that there's already content creators that have access to these cards already.
Yeah.
I want to know if they are going to be separate
Hmm.
or if they're going to do the whole Jurassic Park BS.
I see. I see what you mean.
Because I did not like the Jurassic Park lands. Well, I did love them, but the
Yeah.
fact that you have to flip him to
Yeah.
use another artwork, that I did not like. I would have preferred to have two different artworks of Command Tower, two
Hmm.
different artworks of like plains, islands, and swamps and everything. But
Hmm.
that you have to flip him, that takes the fun out of the land, you know.
Agree. Agree.
So again, I think that one of the things that I do like about Universe Beyond is the fact of the how the details on the artwork.
Yeah.
The artwork always matches the set or what they want to present. In this case, Assassin's Creed. I
Yep.
think that the only set that I say that they had a big miss was in Doctor Who. There wasn't no full art soul rings, no full art lands. All the lands were normal basic lands like these. um I think that being the fact that Doctor Who was one of your other successful sets due to the fandom that people started buying the cards just for the cards. um you missed a chance with the full art lands. I would have loved to see full art lands of the artwork that you had presented to us. Full art lands with the TARDIS in different places. It would have been nice. Even though you do get full art of the lands from the decks, but still, it's not the same.
Yeah.
Having, you know, it's not the same that I can have a Lord of the Rings theme commander
Hmm.
with Lord of the Rings full art lands.
Yep.
Here with Assassin's Creed as well, with Fallout,
Hmm.
with I think Warhammer is the other one that does not have full art lands.
Yeah.
So again, two popular IPs that you didn't make full art lands, and we have to go to an artist or ourselves,
Hmm.
ourselves to make the proxies,
Yep.
make proxy lands out of them, to have full art lands.
Hmm.
So, you know,
It
uh,
sucks. Yeah.
eh, I'm I'm fine with the set. I'm not gonna buy cards. Wait. I probably will buy cards because I did mention to Orengo that I wanted to buy Exio
Yeah.
because I like the whole commander-ish style. You don't have to make it 5 colors.
Yeah.
You can choose 3 main colors and still have all 5 colors just to do the ability,
For sure.
but you can focus on 3 colors that it doesn't affect you that much.
Hmm.
The set is interesting. I think I'm not going to make any type of change in the format. I don't know. How about you, Orengo? What do you think?
Yeah, I think some of the reprints might be useful for Commander. I mean, I'm sorry, for Modern Commander. Like you said, people are going to try out doing assassin decks, and that's cool. That's kind of the whole point of this. I think the free running perhaps could be useful in some niche cases. So, for example, there's a card called Chain Assassination. It's 2 colorless and 2 black for instant, but it has free running for 1 colorless and a black. Destroy target creature. If another creature died this turn, draw a card. So it's kind of cool because there's added value to that. So that could be a card that people might use. There's Eagle Vision. So it's a sorcery that's a 4 colorless and 1 blue card for free running. It has 1 colorless and 1 blue, and it says draw 3 cards. So at worst, you're paying 5 mana to draw 3 cards. At best, you free run, which could be very easily something you can do. You can just pay 2 mana to draw 3 cards at sorcery speed. That's pretty strong. Also, there's another one called Escape Detection. So it's a colorless and 2 blue for an instant that says return target creature to its owner's hand, draw a card. But if you do free running, return a blue creature you control to its owner's hand. So it's a free spell. That's crazy. It's crazy good. So there are some cards that perhaps if people implement some of these assassins into the decks, they're also humans. So there could be something with a human deck that utilizes some of these free running cards, especially if they're like aggressively costed, like the two last ones that I mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
There's a possibility people might be able to use them. There's some reprint here, like a fatal push. Uh, there's some of the swords. There's some cards here, mortify. Some degree, someone might use it. Path to exile, people use that. So
Go for the
go
throat.
for the road. There's good. There's a card here called reconnaissance, which I do not know. I think it's new. It is not new. It's an Exodus card. That's why it's so expensive. But it's being printed basically into Modern, so it's a reprint. It's a card that says it's an enchantment for 1 white, and it says pay 0. Remove target attacking creature you control from combat and untap it. You know what this really like gels well with? Nadu. You attack with
Oh my
creatures
god.
and you Nadu, so you untap them, you have vigilance, and you trigger them. So yeah, this is a card that's probably going to see play there. It's a $14 card. It's going to obviously dramatically go down in value because it's an uncommon. So there's a lot of cards here. There's a lot of cards here
Mm-hmm.
that could be used. They're obviously being very aggressive with the free running. What worries me about the free running is that there's a lot of cards there that if you so happen to have your commander and they dealt damage, which is something easy, something anyone can do, those free running cards are gonna go free running in your deck with the added value. There's a reanimator card for 2 mana if you free run for its cost. So there's cards here that are gonna be maybe auto includes in some decks
Yeah.
just because of the value that it has. So overall, I think it was a bad idea to make them too modern. I think that, it's cool, I guess, to have options, but I feel like they're just being put into Modern because of the success of Lord of the Rings and Modern Horizons 2. I think this should have just been a Commander set. I think it should have just been Commander decks. I don't think they should have made it into a mini set. They
Mhm.
obviously know this is going to fail horribly. They're bracing for impact because they saw that Aftermath was not successful. So they already know this is not going to be successful, but they're going to charge anyways because they already made the cards. They can't do another product out of this.
You
I think
know,
they're
no, continue.
I just think that they definitely learn from Aftermath, and they're really going to learn from this to never do another mini set. This is something that people do not want. It's very expensive. Cards are already very expensive. I mean, it's cardboard, but they the product that they make them, they're very expensive products. And I don't know, like I feel their free running was a mistake in terms of design. So yeah, what do you think?
I think that Wizard of the Coast, I know that you will never sponsor us due to how honest we are. But one of the things that I think that you guys should focus is stop trying to be Yu-Gi-Oh. Sorry, I have to say it. Stop trying to be Yu-Gi-Oh.
That's true. It's basically
We
it. Yeah.
don't we don't need mini sets. We need sets.
Yep.
If we want a mini set, do like you did with Warhammer, do what you did with Doctor Who. Make commander decks, make a collector booster box. If you guys want, if you as a person want the foil cards, get the collector booster box or wait until the cards tank and buy them. That's one of the things that I did when Doctor Who came out. I remember telling the guys like, "Oh, I just want all of the showcase artwork of all of the doctors, all of the cards that come in showcase. I want them all foil." And for $35, I got them all in foil. And I think that the only expensive one was the 10th Doctor because he was the most useful one. He was the one that did time travel, you know, and stop trying to be Yu-Gi-Oh. I think Orengo he hasn't done the TikTok yet, but Orengo has a card that is like literally magical hats.
Magical hats. Yep. It's
you
literally
know,
magical hats. Yeah, it's
so
crazy.
so Wizard of the Coast, stop trying to make these mini sets. I think you guys should go back to your old days. Continue making these master sets and universe beyond sets because obviously there is a market for these type of cards.
Yeah.
And as well, go back to standard blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Make stories on your standard sets like
Yep.
you used to do before. Don't Ikoria was fun, but the sad part of Ikoria is that we never got back to it.
Mm-hmm.
You did Ikoria, you made a very intriguing, very complicated mechanic that was evolved. A lot of people liked it, and then you guys backed off of it. You didn't make
Mm-hmm.
a second set. You just went ahead and continued doing sets.
Yep.
Go back to doing blocks. It was fun being in Kaladesh and then being in Aether Revolt. And then we jump, I think that it was Omket. No, we went to Omket, then Hour of Devastation. No,
Mhm.
wait, it was the other way around. It was Kaladesh, Aether Revolt, Omket, and then Hour of Devastation. Yes. So
Yeah.
it is cool that you try to do these stories that continue. I understand you guys already reset it your Avengers story. Half of our Avengers don't have the spark. And which is a set, I think it's in Modern Horizon 3 that some of them are getting their spark again, right? Raul got
Yeah.
his spark again.
Yeah.
A couple of our Avengers are getting their sparks again. It's fine if you guys want to do the Young Avengers, go ahead and do it, or whatever Marvel style thing you guys want to do. Go ahead and do it, but bring back the blocks. It was fun. Oh no, yeah, it was fun because it's not there anymore. And stop doing these mini sets. You guys are not Yu-Gi-Oh. You guys are Wizard of the Coast. You guys are Magic the Gathering. You guys have already a system that used to work. I understand that you guys want to dabble in different things, but you guys have something that works. Keep doing your Universe Beyond sets. Keep doing your Secret Layers. Please, your R&D team for Secret Layers, try and change them because they're not picking correct cards for the Secret Layers.
Yeah. No, they're not. Really bad reprints, honestly.
Yes, they really bad reprints.
Yeah.
This upcoming drop, usually out of the drop, I like to pick at least one.
Mhm.
but not even the Da Vinci one I wanted.
The schematics, they're really beautiful, but they're
They're beautiful, but
useless,
they're
useless
useless
cards.
cards.
Useless
Useless
cards.
cards. The
Yep.
only one that I would use is the Conqueror's Flail,
Yeah,
because it's the only thing, is the only artifact that you can use that you can add in any commander that does not run white.
exactly.
So that's the only card. So I'm not gonna buy the Secret Lair for one card. I'm gonna just buy this card on the side.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep.
So that's what I say. The Assassin's Creed set, just to go like final thoughts on it. It's okay.
Mhm.
It's an okay set. I think that there might be a chance that probably somebody from the pro player cycle will find a card and say this card can be cool,
Mhm.
and probably say like, yes, free running is broken in modern.
Yeah.
And I hope that it happens, like that you guys can continue making more different mechanics, I would say.
Mhm.
But the Assassin's Creed set is not wow factor. I really did expect it a little bit more wow factor, a little bit even though we do say that we don't like power creep,
Yeah.
but we would have liked to see a little bit of power creep
Mhm.
on it. It was a great chance that you could have reprinted all of the swords, being the fact that there's so many games and there is like a lot of sword intricate moments on the games. So you could have reprinted all the swords, or the important ones, the
Mhm.
OG ones.
Yep.
Um, Overall, I just say that yeah, it's an okay set. Good for you, Wizards. But I hope that my rant gets to R&D and they're like, oh, these people know what they're talking about.
I think the lesson's gonna be they're gonna realize that this set, the mini sets don't work. So I know for a fact they're not gonna do them again. They will do more Lord of the Rings style sets. That's exactly what they're gonna do. Instead of just trying to do a mini set and try to weasel more money without printing more cards, I
Mm-hmm.
think they're gonna be like, okay, we can't commit to that. We're just gonna make like Lord of the Rings type sets, and we're gonna probably put commander decks on top of that and just have a bunch of cards. The problem is like the output is so ridiculous. It's so many new cards entering. Like I have to every time. You know this. You probably do this too. You always go to EDH Shrek sec. Like look at your commanders. You always see when new cards are supposed to be added for your commanders because you can't keep up anymore. There's just so many new cards. Half the time when we play casual commander, I sometimes have to look at the stupid card. I didn't have to use this. Have to do this 5 years ago. I knew what cards were. I knew the cards
Yeah.
were like played. Now it gets to a point like I've never seen this. When was this printed? Oh, like 2 years ago. Like a commander says, like what the hell? It's crazy. Like it's too much. Too much. So
No, yeah. Me being somebody that is gonna leave CDH for a while in
mhm,
regards to having all the cards printed. I'm gonna go back to CDH in proxy form,
mhm,
but building Davros is like a pain
yeah,
because new combos that I didn't know that existed,
mhm,
and I'm like, how do I do this?
yeah,
I don't understand.
yep,
And then when you see the cards that you need, and then you're like, why this card costs $7? It's such
yep.
it's such a stupid combo.
Because so what happens is those cards, no one buys them, no one plays them, and then something breaks them, and it's like, oh, this random uncommon, this Shuko is worth
Yeah,
$1 like years ago, and now like it was worth $1 5 months ago, 2 months ago, and
exactly.
now it's $30 something because it combos with a new
And
commander.
the dark ritual, but it's for red mana.
Mhm,
It's like
mhm.
it was like 50 cents, and now it's like a $10 card.
Yep,
It's
that's what
ridiculous,
happens because no one
ridiculous.
bought it, no one cares. Yep,
Yeah. Oh God.
yep.
So Rengo, we talked about Assassin's Creed. We talked about the crazy free running mechanic. We gave again Wizard of the Coast some advice. They should pay us
Mhm.
for that.
They should pay us for that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Rengo, where can the people find you?
You can find me with John playing some Magic the Gathering. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, look at that. You can't see it that well, but it's us.
They
We
posted the
play.
picture today.
Yeah, we played in our local game store. We played Commander. There was a special event because it's Pride Month. So the event is we get to play with two commanders instead of one, and we make them partners, even if they aren't actually partners in the Oracle text. And I ended up in second place. John ended up in third. John played a janky sliver deck that went all the way to the top. So I was lazy. I just made Urza have Boral as his partner, and Urza was just doing Urza things that he usually does. So, but it was fun. So you can find us playing some Commander. You can find me too. Cinemas Podcast. I do movie reviews and I talk about movies and I talk about much stuff, and that's it. But more importantly, where can the people find you?
You can find me here, guys, in the Cardboard Cave podcast. Usually in TikTok. If I'm not the one posting videos, Orengo is the one posting videos, and as well, most of the content that is available for you on YouTube is me and Orengo either playing Commander or either playing our new series that we're doing. That's different type of ideas that we have been coming up on. One of them is already available on YouTube, so check it out. We go back to 2003 World's Championship and we play the quarterfinals decks. The next video will be the finals decks of the World's Championship. We're going to be going through different years, so you will be seeing us playing very, very old cards and be very, very, very lost, like in those games.
Definitely.
And as well, I am a movie critic as well. You guys can follow me in Real in Films. I do interviews, movie reviews, and as well movie news. And as well, I am in live radio once a month in Conexión Espiritual. So when this goes out live tomorrow, this upcoming Friday, I will be back with my section. We're going to be talking about the upcoming Angel Studios film, Sound of Hope. So pass by onto the live stream of the radio station. There's going to be on Instagram, on Facebook, YouTube, and much more. And as well on their online radio station that's live 24 hours, 7 days a week, Conexión Espiritual Radio. So thank you for everybody that has supported us from the start to now. And we will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.